Welcome to the Aquaflow Crypto Lab. It's been a long time since my last video, I'm sorry for that, but I'm glad to say that I'm back. And now that we see finally some movement in the market, I will explain everything you need to know so you can have a clear picture. If you're new here, welcome to the Crypto Lab and consider subscribing to the channel. Now, if you're ready, let's begin. Okay, so this is the big picture chart, and the last time I made a video, we were around this candle. And I said that XRP needed to go above this orange line, which is the 180 weeks exponential moving average, because so far we were using it as a very strong resistance, as you can see, because we pierced it multiple times with these candles, right? With this one, and this one, but every time we got rejected again and again. Also on this chart we have the blue dots that are just right here, and this is the bull market support. For those that have been following me for a long time, you know the importance of this line, because when we are below it, we are in a bear market. For example, just right here after the cross, we went below it and we went up to use it this time as a resistance, and then we got rejected again and again from the line, right? And during this entire phase, when we were below the blue dots, we were in a bear market. That's why every time that XRP is below those blue dots, we need to pay attention. And as you can see, we've been below the blue dots for multiple weeks now. So this is not really a surprise, guys, that XRP is now making lower lows. The only thing saving us right now is the bull market band. I remind you that this is the bull market band, right? We have the top of the band just right here and the bottom of the band just right here. And you know that during this entire phase we were in a bear market, right? Because here we penetrated the band, then we have this area of transition, and then we pierced the band with a candle closing below the bottom of the band. And because of this, during this entire phase, we were officially in a bear market. Then we penetrated the band again with this huge green candle, and we knew that we were in a transition phase again. Then we stayed inside the band, we even go above the band, and with this candle, we have the entire body of the candle closing above the top of the band. So this was the beginning of the bull market, but we needed to make a higher high compared to this high. And we couldn't keep this level, so we went back down inside the band and we retested the bull market support with the blue dots. But all the time, we were still inside the band, as you can see, and right now we are still inside the band. But the current situation is pretty tight. Why? Because the current price of XRP is below the bottom of the band. For example, here it was exactly the same thing, and we even closed the candle below the bottom of the band. But what is important is to see if XRP will close the entire body of the candle below the band. And for that, we need to watch what XRP will do next week. For example, here with this huge red candle, it closed below the bottom of the band, but with the candle after, you see that we closed again inside the band. And this is key, guys, because if this candle had closed below the band, then we would have been officially in a bear market according to this band indicator. And that's why we need to pay attention of what will happen next week. The next thing I want to talk about is this green support. Indeed, we've been using this green line as a very strong support from the beginning. And you can watch my previous videos and you will see that I always kept this green line in my chart, despite the fact that we hadn't touched it in more than 1.5 years. So the band and the green line are now forming a confluence area, and that's why we need to wait to see what will happen in the future weeks. On this channel, we stay level-headed. That's why in my previous video, I said that because we were below the 180 weeks exponential moving average and below the bull market support, we were in a pretty bearish situation. So I hope that the situation is clear. Right now, the green line is around 42 cents. So remember this level for the week to come. We can move to the next chart of the day, the Moonshot chart. So you already know about this Moonshot. It's very simple. When the yellow line is above the green line, we are in a bull market. When the yellow line is below the red line, we are in a bear market. And when the yellow line is about to cross the green line or the red line, we usually have huge pivot points in the market. For example, here we touched it and we have this huge move to the upside. Here we know that we were above the line with the price, right? But when the yellow line hit the red line, we have a reversal of the market and we started going down. Here it was the same thing. We have a cross and a huge move to the upside. And recently we have here a cross also and a huge move to the upside. Now on this chart, the bad news is that we have officially a cross between the yellow line and the green line. And now the yellow line is below the red line. So with the price below the yellow line and the yellow line crossing the red line, we know that this was very bearish. And that's why now we see a lower low compared to this low. And it's a pity. Why? Because here we have an official cross of the yellow line going above the green line, right? Then we have the yellow line dancing above the green line because it was going back down, but then to save the cross, we have this huge move to the upside, but we didn't make a new high compared to this high, right? Because we have this, and then again, it went up, but then back down, and to save the cross again, we have this huge move to the upside, but again, we have this high that is lower than this high. So XRP was playing around, and with this official cross, and the price below the red line, we knew that this was pretty bearish. Now let's have a quick look at the XRP Bull Bear Index. So on this chart, we have the string line and the XRP Bull Bear Index. And as you can see, the situation is pretty bearish. In my previous video, I said that because of this candle with the entire body closing below the string line, we were officially in a bear market according to this indicator. And now you see that I was right because right now we made a lower low. That's why we need to stay level-headed because even if I want XRP to go up, I have to trust my indicators and what they're telling me. Also, in the XRP Bull Bear Index, you see that we have 78% of bearishness. I remind you that this indicator is available for free on my website. So if you want it, have a look at the description of the video. So XRP struggled to stay above the string line, right? Because we pierced it to the upside, then we came back down to use it as a support for multiple candles in a row. But then we closed below it with this candle, and then we have this candle. This is key, guys, with the entire body closing below the line. And that's why we knew that potentially we would go down. Currently, the line is around 55 cents. So remember this level. And you know the rule, before it was a strong support, and now that we are below it, it becomes a strong resistance. I hope it's clear. We can move to the last chart of the day, the cloud chart. The cloud chart gives us the same conclusion. It was the very first indicator to tell us what was about to come. Indeed, here with this huge green candle, we have the candle closing above the cloud. So we have an official breakout, and after this, we have these candles with the body always closing above the cloud chart, meaning that we never had the entire body of a candle closing below the cloud. But then we have this red candle, and for the very first time in a long time, we have this candle, even if it's green, we have the entire body closing below the cloud chart. And this candle closed in February. I remind you that I'm using the 23 days time frame, and as you can see, in February, we knew that we would start using the cloud as a strong resistance this time. So during this entire phase, it was a strong support because we went above it, then we always stayed in the cloud. But after this candle, we know that we would retest the cloud, but this time as a strong resistance. And as you can see, here we went above it, right? We even pierced it with this huge candle, but then we had this huge rejection with finally the candle closing inside the cloud. So this was the proof that the market didn't want XRP to go above the cloud. So we were rejected from this area. Then we have this huge green candle closing below the green line, and then we have this candle with the entire body closing below the green line and below the bull market support with the blue dots. And that's how we knew that the situation was pretty bad, and now we made a lower low compared to this low. If you're looking for a target to buy XRP, I think that the mountain indicator in purple would be a very good price. And if you want more precise targets, you can have a look at the description of the video. You will have my premium indicators. So right now you should have a pretty good understanding of what's going on right now in the market. As you can see, the situation is pretty bearish. And the only thing keeping us alive right now with all my indicators is the bottom of the bull bear band for XRP and this green line. In my next video, I will take a step back and talk about Bitcoin because BTC is still the king of the market. So it would be very, very interesting for you to know what's going on right now. If you liked the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. That's all for this video. And as always, time will tell.